Hi everyone, and welcome to a Tech Talk on ROX, where we take technology and talk about it, technically. Anyway, let's talk about something that seems to be growing in popularity by the day. I'm talking today about these things. Never thought you'd see these again? Neither did we here at ROX, but the audio cassette is back with us once more, along with probably Betamax in a couple of years' time. But love them or hate them, audio cassettes are back. Bands are producing their albums and releasing them on audio cassettes for the first time in quite a few years now. And already we're starting to see bands releasing demo discs, demo tapes, for public consumption or for media such as ourselves. So it's becoming a force to be reckoned with once again. That does pose several questions, however. Firstly, where and how are you going to play these things again? Blank tapes are already quite expensive to get your hands on. Even on eBay, they start at £3, such as this Maxell one. Here, £3 each. That's for a blank. Albums, obviously, their prices are going to vary according to the record label and the popularity of the bands concerned. The other question it raises is, how you're going to play these cassettes? Most people have gotten rid of their cassette players because we thought they were never coming back. Therefore, you're going to need a player. There are several high-end cassette players on the market by the likes of JVC, retailing around the £300 mark. But the cassette mechanism inside them is identical to the ones that you can buy on Amazon or eBay. This is mainly because there is only one manufacturer currently of cassette drives, the mechanics inside the cassette player. There's only one main manufacturer. There's two manufacturers of the actual motors, but there is only one factory in China who manufacture the mechanisms. They do various different types of mechanisms for various different companies with varying degrees of complexity and obviously quality. So should you buy a high-end one? I would wait and see, personally. Get a cheap deck for now. You can get portable ones, just like the good old... Remember the orange headphones, for those old enough to remember, the old Sony Walkmans? There are plenty of those on eBay and on Amazon, which, while not great, there is a good deal of wow and flutter on them, but they will give you the opportunity to try cassettes out, especially if you've never used them, to see whether it's a medium that you want to adopt for the future. There are also devices that will connect to your PC, which will then allow you to digitize your cassettes, not just old cassettes, pre-recorded cassettes, but ones that you recorded previously and new ones being released. Again, there are portable devices, and there are devices such as this one, which is a dual cassette deck manufactured by Ion. And despite what you may have heard on YouTube, these are actually a very, very good machine. They are called the Tape to PC. We've been using it here in the ROX studio, and we are delighted with it, I have to say. It records and plays cassettes, and it's got full Dolby noise reduction and settings for chrome tapes as well. So these are really cheap, stupid money at the moment on places like eBay. So keep an eye out for one of those, and if you see one, get it. Will it last? I honestly don't know. It's looking as if it's going to be a popular format for several reasons. Cassettes are cheap to manufacture. There is a distinct shortage at the moment of the paper that goes into making the sleeves for CDs and vinyl. There is a shortage of vinyl. There is a huge waiting list in the factories that make vinyl records, which is holding records up and pushing the price up of manufacture, and that also applies for CDs. A lot of the companies that master CDs have been slowing down over the years, and therefore, because they've scaled down, they can't scale up very quickly when there's a demand. The also added benefit of them, of course, is it brings back the days of home taping. Now, I'm not condoning home taping, girls and boys, but they are useful for putting in your personal stereo and taking out and about with you. Bearing in mind, we've now lost headphone sockets on most mobile phones. These little cassette devices mean you can record your favourite songs onto a C90 cassette, which holds about two and a bit albums worth of goodness that you can take anywhere with you without paying any extra money. They're also very useful for bands because they allow bands to put their demos on cost-effective medium that they can hand out at gigs. This could revitalise the whole demo scene and the whole idea of sharing tapes again of bands. That could be a great benefit. So if you are a band, give this some thought. What does that mean for the other formats? Yes, we saw the return of vinyl not long ago. Vinyl sales are still on the rise, but cassettes are selling pretty darn well in comparison. I wouldn't have thought the sale of vinyl will slow down anytime soon, because it is still in that novelty stage, especially with the young ones who never experienced vinyl first time round. That also applies to cassettes, of course, because young ones have never tried cassette, and it's a new novelty watching the reels go round. Novelty, that is, until the tape gets eaten by the machine and they have to dig it out. But then I suppose someone else will have that problem. What does it also mean for our compact disc friend? Yes, it promised so much but delivered not much. They were not indestructible, they were not very cost effective, and people have got very bored of them. But they are still a highly suitable medium for music. I can't see them dying out anytime soon, but when it comes to sale of new albums on CDs, it ain't looking good for the CD. For the used market and for the classic album market, it's still doing very well. That obviously is going to remain to be seen what happens there. What about a digital AE, you ask? Well, that's slowing down. There could be many reasons for that. It could be because people actually are starting to yearn for what we had when we, in the days of black and white and 3 channels on television, when we had physical things to have and to hold forever when you bought it, rather than just a file that could eventually get lost on your hard drive somewhere, and then it's gone forever. There is a lot to be said for buying something that you can keep, that you can look after, and then your friends can admire. And of course, it has resellable value. Some stuff, like limited editions, like this one, which is a coloured vinyl, will increase in value. So you are making an investment. And the same will probably happen with some cassettes. Some of the original demo cassettes, like the original demo of Metal Massacre, which celebrates its birthday this year, those original cassettes are now passing hands for hundreds of dollars. So it's an investment, whereas an MP3, it has no investment. It will never increase in value. So those are all the pluses and minuses regarding cassettes. We will, as always, keep you informed of albums that are released on these, and also of any machines that we think are worthy of you going and checking out, that are cost effective and will allow you to dip your toes back into these. If you do want to buy a vintage, that is old, cassette player, there are pros and cons to that. Some of the vintage cassette units are they are superb quality. Don't let the vinyl and CD enthusiasts tell you that cassettes sounded shit. They do have a higher noise floor. They do lose certain frequencies, but they are a viable audio format and were much loved by many people. And many of those cassette drives are still working reasonably well. I say many, not all. Many will have had the belt inside them rotten because of the sheer age of the devices. Components may have seized, and the recording and playheads, because of the nature of the cassette tape, will have a deposit on them, if they haven't been looked after and kept clean, of the magnetic residue from the cassettes. So bear that in mind. That takes a simple thing as a cotton bud dipped in some alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, and that will bring that up a treat. So if you're prepared to spend a few minutes cleaning one of these devices up, re-oiling it, checking the belt, you'll have a really good cassette machine for next to nothing at the moment. Buy a device now, because we all know what happened with vinyl. Nobody was interested in record players. Now, stupid money. That's been a tech talk on ROX. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions regarding cassettes or anything else technical like that, then do drop us a line and we'll do our best to answer. So it's farewell, Bob, for now, and happy listening, girls and boys.